Success in streaming and huge losses in parks, movies, and cruises. The stock down about 6% this year. Last quarter, Disney announced a massive shift to prioritize streaming, but it's still a tiny part of the overall business. For more, let's bring in Tuna Amobi. He's senior analyst for CFRA Research, and our own Julia Borston. Julia, I'll start with you. This strategic shift for them seems to be paying off with the stock price reaction. The investors seem to like growth, even though I'm sure they have deep concerns about a lot of the current businesses. I mean, how are we expecting them to kind of toe this line today?
Well, Disney did get a big bump on Monday from that positive vaccine news, reassurance for the stock for investors that the company will be able to get its parks open again eventually. But I do think that there will be a big emphasis in the earnings call today on the digital future of Disney, the idea that they just did this reorganization to really emphasize that direct-to-consumer relationship. And I think it'll be really interesting to see what they say, Kelly and Tuna, in terms of what the potential is going forward, what they think the real addressable market is for their Disney Plus streaming service, considering that they've already hit their growth targets that were set for 2024.
Tuna, where are you on the stock? It's trading around 135 today. And what about the points that Dan Loeb made about Disney basically holding its dividend for now, using that capital to reinvest in these more promising areas?
So, Kelly, we're still recommending a buy on the stock. I think, obviously, the company is cycling through the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has had a very, very deleterious impact on the traditional legacy businesses. I would think that this past fiscal year is a trough for them. We're expecting them to kind of accelerate from here. Obviously, a lot depends on the vaccine development. But I think Disney, as kind of we look at, is going to be a prime beneficiary of that. And as far as the activist, news, frankly, I was actually scratching my head knowing that the company is already moving in the direction of direct-to-consumer streaming. Now the question becomes how much more they're going to spend in content from here on out, which we expect more details at the Investor Day coming up in December. But all that being said, I do believe that if you kind of look beyond this, issue of the COVID, and then the economy begins to reopen, I don't think, and then live sports also coming back, these are all the key ingredients that we need to see that will make for a very, very good acceleration.
Yeah, so you've got a buy rating on the stock. I think most of the street is more or less neutral on it. So that's interesting. You don't think they need to hold the dividend because they're doing those streaming investments already. So content spend, one thing to look for, but as you said, maybe at the upcoming Investor Day. Julia, what else is notable, you think, in the results tonight in terms of the metrics people will be looking for?
Well, look, of course, there's going to be a big focus on those streaming subscriber numbers, not just for Disney Plus, but also for ESPN Plus and Hulu. Then I think for the film division, the movie studio, the question is what they say about their plans to go direct to consumer. This Mulan release strategy where they charge an additional $30 for Mulan for Disney Plus subscribers. The question is, did that work? Are they going to be doing more of that? Or are they just going to be taking films that maybe won't make it into theaters and put those direct to consumer without charging them more, which could be the direction they're going in? And then I think for the theme parks, the question is, how much is it going to cost them if their California parks stay closed for a while? And what are the startup costs if they have to rehire all those employees they've furloughed? Is this going to be an additional cost to get those parks and other parks around the world up and running again?
All right, great. Thank you both. Tuna Amobi, our Julia Borston, talking some Disney before we get those results after the bell. We appreciate it.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.